top of their game. Jared and Jensen, let's give them a nice welcome.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy, partner.
Chi-town. Howdy, partner. Is it chai or shy? Does anybody know? It's chai? It's
Shy, like, I'm embarrassed. Chi-town?
yeah, but the way you explain it, you say Chi-town and then you say Chicago. So should it be shit-town? I love Chicago. That I realized as I was saying
And
what
we're
I
back.
was saying. But I mean, like, it's not Chicago or Chicago or Chicago. I'm gonna shut up.
It's
I'm sorry, head trauma. So, too soon? Wait, I'm talking about myself. I can do that. Come on now. Never too soon. Yeah, that's tattooed on my. I can't tell you what. Thank you.
I was all ready to wheel him up here this morning, so it's,
He carried me up the stairs. Just kidding, I'm filming. Good morning, guys. Gals.
how's everybody doing? Lovely? All right.
Seeing a lot of masks. There are a lot of doctors out there.
A lot of smiling eyes.
What do you think? Maybe
What do you think? Maybe they're like this.
Maybe they're all grimacing. That's what they look like in person?
How was the concert last night? Yeah? Why did I was
He
in my
was.
hotel room,
Shut up.
singing myself to sleep.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I wish it
was.
was just yourself. We all asked you to stop.
That's true. This is true. Yeah, the whole the whole hotel lobby. It's like, can you shut the guy up over there?
Yeah. They're all like, he's bigger than we are, but can somebody shut him up? Anyways, happy to be here. Sorry I missed some of you guys in Jersey. Stuff.
Yeah, left me hanging, dude.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I want to stay home. I have an idea.
Next time, just stay home. You know.
That might have been might turn out better. Certainly would have turned out better. But happy to be here now. Too soon. Just kidding. Well, before
Let's do some questions, man.
yeah, let's do some questions. Right there.
Awesome. I don't know if there's a mic or.
There, yeah, look at this. We got one coming right here.
How?
All right, so you guys are both playing lawmen, right? And so I want to know in what world you imagine that Walker meets Goat Harlan.
I think in all the worlds I imagine.
I know it's.
Well, that'd be amazing.
If there was ever if there was ever a crossover that made the most sense, it would probably be this one because, yeah, Bo is actually from Houston and has a law enforcement past there. So, yeah, that would. I mean, I don't know that networks and different studios do that kind of thing, but
We'll call them, like, set up a Zoom. We have this great idea. We're gonna get together. We're like, hell no.
no. We own that property. They don't. Take a hike.
Yeah, that would be fun. I have wanted. I feel like I've wanted since like season 4 or 5 of Supernatural to do a separate project together where we just kind of have that moment from Maverick where it's like carry on. That's the only thing I need. I want to do in my career still. Like if I officially retire and never get that moment with this dude.
There was in the episode of Walker that I directed
With a band.
at the Kansas concert that I also got to like pinch myself the entire time. He and I both were like, "What's happening?" There was we were rolling a take, and it was on Walker and Jerry, and they were doing their close up on them, and like I was maybe about 20, 30 feet away at the monitors watching, and then it was like the scene was over, and I just quickly like threw my headphones off, and then ran out onto the set, and then just walked right in front of the camera, and then he and I looked at each other. And And it would have worked, but
It would have been perfect.
But Odette was like, you don't know us. End the game, Odie. End the game. So I don't know. Maybe that'll make the blooper reel, but
Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully, yeah, soon enough, somehow.
all right, right here.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so we know you both got a baby when the show was over, and I was wondering for
Got
each-
a baby?
a baby, the car. Baby.
Oh yes. Got it. I was like, oh shit.
Not another one.
Yes, not that kind of baby. The
Surprise.
Yeah.
Is that why Jen keeps calling me?
So I'm just wondering for each of your respective cars, like, do you have any short-term or long-term plans of what you want to do with your baby?
Yeah. I was gonna like do rainbow paint and chop the top and hydraulics. You know, I'll get back to the real question because that's a good question. But do you remember the like Pimpmobile that Cass had? Did y'all ever hear the story? They had me driving it, and I was like, "This is really fun." I wasn't trying to mess it up, but I kept on going, and I could see the like transpo guys running like, somebody tell him to stop. And I was like, yeah, I think
What's this button do?
Yeah. For me, I want to keep it aesthetically the same. Like I don't want to change. I don't want to put in like a DVD player or something. Just get it working. There are a few. I think Ackles has touched on this. They kept them workable for film's sake, but you wouldn't want to drive them across town necessarily yet. Some of the gaskets are old. I mean, you would want to drive them across town. They got delivered to Family Business, and when I went and picked up number 2 and drove it home, it's like, oh God, this is all scary.
Realized that the car's literally been held together by duct tape and spit for like 15 years.
Every time you turn, it's like, oh gosh, we're gonna.
Oh yeah.
And then Cliffy, he was over and he's like, hey, so I don't think we should start it anytime soon. One of the gaskets leaking, and it's where it can start a fire. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's not start it soon. So we have it getting worked on right now.
Meanwhile, I'm like, hey kids, hop in, let's go for a drive.
We can't hear you, Dad. We can't hear you.
Basically same. Just get it back to. I've had a little work done on it so far, just to kind of keep it running and keep the lines clean and stuff. But I wanted to take the engine out that I've got in it right now because they dropped a 502 Marine engine in it, which is like obnoxiously loud. And it was all because I was like,
You're just now realizing this?
oh no, I knew it, but there was a lot of complaining from us to the studio and to production of going like, we need a bigger engine, this car doesn't sound like it should, and it's embarrassing when fans show up on set, and it's like, so they're like, oh, you want a bigger engine? Okay, here's a 502 big block, and it's like, I'll shut up. And so I thought, okay, that's like obnoxiously large. Maybe I'll should get like what I think arguably is the best engine for that car that at that time was a 327, and it also happens to be the amount of episodes that we shot. So I was like, well, that's a no-brainer. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, yeah, I think I need to keep the 502 in there. It's just for nostalgia.
You've been all over the place in like 60 seconds.
I know. I think I'm gonna keep it in there and just get it tuned up.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna change the look of it. It's staying like all the dings and all the dents and all the scratches and scrapes. That's all staying.
At the end of the show, when we got back after we finished the finale, and our props department, Prop and Robin, sent like little care packages, like sent Ziploc bags of some of the hotel key cards, motel key cards.
Basically stuff that the studio didn't want. Like,
Yeah.
just put that out there. This wasn't like, get
Yeah.
everything that we can. No, it was like, they put a list.
But also got some cool stuff, like
Yeah.
this. We were like, we love this, we love that. they couldn't do a lot of it, but like I have a Samulet, I have some Motel key cards, and I have some Legos and a G.I. Joe man or an Army man from Swan Song. And so I will admit, when it came in, I went to the garage and like put some Legos around and just sat there. Yeah, we'll keep the look, and then I'll put the Legos back in. Right here in the aisle. Right there, yes.
So, Radio Company has a song called City Grown Willow, and it's great. What was the inspiration behind the music video?
It was COVID and we were stuck in the mountains doing nothing, and we thought, hey, it's snowing, let's go do something fun. Honestly, like Steve was there and we were writing, and this was like, prime COVID lockdown pandemic thing. And so we just literally went out into the backyard and shot all that and on an iPhone. And then Steve was like, we're gonna make a video. I'm like, all right. And so then I think we spent maybe 3 or 4 hours out in the snow doing that. We didn't, and I don't know, for me I was like, yeah, this should just be for us. But then he like really did a good job. And he was like, we should put that out there. So we did. And that song is actually about, he and I wrote it together, but he kind of brought it, he brought the idea and like already kind of the chord progression and stuff. But it was about a friend of his, about their relationship. So she was a city girl and he was kind of a country guy, and it was inspired by their relationship. So I'll tell him. Thank you.
Drifter. Sorry. All right, your turn.
You guys ever seen that skit? It's Will Ferrell playing
Neil Diamond.
Neil Diamond, and it's like an SNL thing where he
It's
talks
like a
about
VH1 behind the music.
what inspired the
Sweet
songs.
Caroline.
He's like, yeah, I wrote this song after I killed a drifter.
And every song he's like, yep, all right, we were driving down the road, we were really drunk. I hit a guy, checked on him, sure enough, he was dead. I wrote this,
Sweet Caroline.
We watched that on set.
Anyway, if you haven't seen that, it's worth a watch.
It's worth it.
Okay, let's go far back. Is that like a brown leather jacket there? Yeah, there you go.
So kind of similar to the previous question, Jensen, what inspired you to start writing music and producing music?
I've always had friends that were very talented musicians, and I've always been inspired and admired that talent. And so whenever Rob would come and guest star on the show, he and I would sit in the trailer and play music and write music. And whenever Jason and I would take trips together or hang out, there was always a guitar involved. And the same with Steve. Whenever Steve would come and visit me in Vancouver, just because he wanted to come up and hang out with his buddy, there would usually be songs involved and writing involved. And it's just it's a hobby. It's something that's an artistic outlet, something I've always enjoyed and I've always admired about people that are able to do that. And so the fact that I've got friends that kind of push me to do that and encourage me to do that along with them has been something that's been a great value to me. So that's really, it's just surrounding myself with people that encourage me to do something like that.
I don't know if you remember this. Season 1 of Supernatural, we shot an episode called Hookman, which we shot after Wendigo, even though it ended up airing as like number 5 and number 7 that year. And my brother and his wife came to Vancouver to visit, and I remember this because they were in the scene, they were like extras in the library in one of the scenes. And we were hanging out in my room at the Sutton place. Jensen, I think my buddy Jordan, because it was the same episode we got jumped during. And my brother and sister-in-law were there, And we both had guitars. I had a guitar in my room, and I remember going like, Jeff, you gotta hear Jensen sing. Like, Jensen, here. And he's like,
Dance monkey.
Yeah. He's like, what's this dance monkey dance? I was like, no, just play something, sing. He's like, no. But I remember like so for many years I've seen music with him for sure.
Look, I mean, honestly, it all goes back to just, getting the girl. That's really, if we want to boil it down, yeah, I saw Steve, he'd have a guitar, and I'd see the way girls would look at him and be like, well, shit. Now I gotta learn how to do that. That's what it all boils down to.
Amazing. I'm gonna go way over here as far right as possible. In the gray.
On the last episode, when Sam dies, it showed your son with the tattoo. Is that leaving it open for a sequel?
You tell me.
I would like it to.
Yeah, I think, as we all know, the supernatural world is vast. And there are a lot of stories that we all want to see and enjoy and see fleshed out and explore. So, sure, maybe. That wasn't the intention. The intention was, I believe, I didn't write it, but the way I kind of thought about it was the intention was more that even though Dean was gone, that Dean was still there. That I still had a partner and we still were protected, even though he was no longer in the world. But yeah, he's a great actor and a great guy, and I'd love to see him carry on. Thank you.
Let's go over here. Right here. Yep. Incoming.
First of all, I'm really excited to go home and watch The Boys. So my question is,
Has anybody seen the first episode? Can we talk about the first 10 minutes, please? No, I'm kidding, we won't. I saw that in a movie theater in Paris for the first, a week and a half ago, on a giant screen, and I forgot.
How do you forget that?
Because I wasn't there, I wasn't filming. I read it in a script, and I'm like, oh, wonder what that's gonna look like, and then this was over a year ago. So I'd completely forgotten about that whole sequence of them, capturing or getting the termite. Oh my God. Also, Kripke was sitting behind me in this massive movie theater. There's a huge audience down below. We're sitting up in the mezzanine, the cast, and Kripke's behind me. And when you know what happens, I just hear him go, like this maniacal cackle, and I'm just turning around, I'm like, you're disgusting, bro.
What's wrong with maniacal cackles?
Anyway, I'm sorry.
By the way, on that note, I've caught up and I'm ready for it, but I didn't know when we flew out yesterday that it had come out the day before. And so we're on the plane and he's like, hey, watch this. And I have some friends with dark senses of humor. And so when you come back into service and you start checking text messages, you have to kind of shield it from the people around you because it might be a giant. So meanwhile,
it could be offensive to some people.
It could be offensive to some people. So he shows to me. I'm like, people might see this, But anyways, sorry. I don't think I should.
my question was, how was it filming that role of Soldier Boy as opposed to the Winchester?
I mean, quite different all around. And I will say that there was just the experience of being on a different set, surrounded by different actors and a different crew and in a different city. The whole thing was quite a different experience. And also coming on to an established set where I'm the guest at the table. It's not my house. And so being respectful of that and trying to figure out the dynamics of the different players and how, because what you see on screen, you're getting performances, you're getting really good actors crafting a character. But I didn't know any of these people in real life. I didn't know what their real personalities were like. So sitting back and just kind of observing and making sure that I'm not, that I'm staying in my lane and not making enemies before I even have a chance to make friends. So that was, but I say that, and it was all very easy. And Kripke really kind of laid the groundwork for me, and he vouched for me, and everybody was like, well, if the boss is saying that he's cool, then then he's cool with us. Even though Anthony, who plays Homelander, he was like, I didn't want to like you. It was like this, you know, this new alpha male coming into an already full deck of alpha males. He's like, I didn't want to like you. And then I liked you. Then I was like, well, maybe he can't act. And then I worked with you, and I was like, well, crap. Now I like him. So that was, but I was prepared for that. I was prepared for some resistance there. Where, you know, as opposed to Supernatural, where it was something that he and I, it was our house, it was our home. That's what we built. And we loved inviting people in and making them feel as comfortable as possible. Or not. Or not, depending on who they were.
Depending on who it was.
But as far as the character goes, I do remember having some talks with Kripke and some talks with Phil Segricha, just about making sure that I didn't fall into the very comfortable groove that I've been in for the past 15 years. Not falling back on Dean Winchester as a crutch. And so I had to work hard for it. Like I had just like in my head, and Kripke was like, you know, watch you don't slide into the Dean voice, or watch you don't slide into the, you know, into doing those kinds of things. I'm like, yeah, but that's just me, man. So it was fun kind of crafting that guy and bringing him to life. And yeah, I hope you like it. He'll be Soldier Boy kind of like arrives on the scene in episode 4.
Oh wow. Row 4, I see maybe a moose and squirrel, yes. Yeah. Great.
Ooh. Nice old reference to a Rolodex. There's people here who probably don't even know what that is.
Oh, that's stuff written
Is it
on
next to your
paper.
abacus?
Your 8-track? Still got it.
Okay, so 2 quick things. First of all, thank you guys for being so amazingly kind during photos, because we get to the photos and like we both just kind of like go just completely stupid. And so your people
Yeah, we talked about it later.
Yeah, I'm sure we did. Like every year. Those girls
those
are
two
back
that
again.
came by.
They did it again. They went totally stupid.
So we're trying to get our picture, and I'm like, the pose, Emily, the pose. And she's just like, we're just both like, and the people that work there are kindly like move, come on. And you reach over and you're just like, I'm listening. I'm like, Jared's listening. You guys are rushing me, but Jared's
I have Jared's
listening
attention.
to me.
You can't talk to me.
You can't talk to us. You can't. Jared said we can be here and it's okay. Okay.
I feel validated.
I do. I'm making eye contact with Jensen, so I'm losing it right now. Just really
She wasn't kidding.
I really wasn't. I apologize. There was an
I
Android
love
versus
it.
iPhone question.
I'm taking notes for like future performances.
Yeah, she's tapping me on the knee like, if you could do a cameo in any show not related to Supernatural or the ones you're in now, what would you do? Like any show, not even if it's not even on anymore.
Not if it's on anymore. I got you. I'm listening. I hear you. I feel you. Saved by the Bell. And my cameo literally would just be, I'm in the hallways when Zach Morris timeouts. And then he times back in, and I continue walking. I took your answer, didn't I?
Yeah, but mine was Zach Morris times out as I'm making out with Kelly Kapowski. So
Maybe I'm right behind y'all.
just locked it in a lip lock.
Yeah.
Or Saved by the.
I grew up on that. That or Home Improvement. I always wanted to be.
There's people in here who also don't know those shows. Like they don't know what a Rolodex is. Just so you know. I'll go current, and just because I just.
Taming of the Shrew, the original performance at the Globe.
Bridgerton. No, I do Yellowstone. Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I always wanted to. I'm not kidding. I always wanted to be Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I was like, he's JTT, I'm JTP. I didn't want to be him, but all the girls liked him, and he was on a great show that I loved, Home Improvement. And then one time, I was in LA and I had a rental on this street called Ensign Ave, which went like one block. It's one block west of Moorpark or whatever. And it was one of those kind of thinner streets, and cars are parked on both sides. And I'm in my car and I'm driving, and there's this like SUV coming this way, but clearly not like staying on the side. It's going to be tight anyways, you know, if we just ease by each other. And so the car is driving towards me, and I'm kind of like, what is this person doing? Like, get to, like, you're gonna crash into me.
Pick a lane, pal!
Pick a lane, pal. And so we finally, the person kind of realizes that they're in the middle of the street, there's not gonna be space, and so slows down, and I kind of give like a WTF look to Jonathan Taylor Thomas. And I was like, what? Oh, that's cool, man. Anyways.
Wow.
That's why I want to be paused behind him kissing Kelly Kapowski.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's go all the way back row. That looks like maybe some blue hair. Yeah.
You are using your eagle vision
I
today.
do. I got some eagle eyes.
Hi. So I wanted to ask. So it's been known that you guys are menaces on set.
Everywhere, not just on set.
Well, my question was, is that going to continue on to the sets you're going like onto now?
Yes.
You really have a partner in crime on Walker.
I don't. I know. Well, I mean, I do. No one. I think this is funny. I thought about this. So, because on Walker, I have the same sense of humor, or same kind of dark sense of humor, I suppose. But I think when people start, they all know that I'm a friendly guy and I love them and they love me, I hope. But I think every now and again I'll see like Keegan or Jeff Pierre or Mitch start to like go along with the flow and then go like, oh shit, he's also the executive producer. Like, so, it's okay, like tease me, you know? Like I think on Supernatural, we gave as good as we got, you know? So our crew would rip us, you know, and we laugh the hardest. I think in the COVID world, everybody's wearing masks, and I don't think people, all of them, I love my Walker crew with all my heart. They don't know yet that it's okay to, some of them do, like Monk and Danny, they tease me relentlessly, one of our Dolly Grips and our Blue Umbrella. And I think like one of them will tease me, and you'll see some looks from the crew like, you just like he's the EP, dude. So
even just when I showed up, like before, like my first day of prep, I went out to the set and I came up and I said, I ripped on him right in front of the whole crew. I forget exactly what I said, but it was, some sort of, brother dig, and thinking that it was gonna, get a chuckle. And I looked around and it was, all masks, but everybody's eyes were just like.
I don't.
And I was like, oh wow, okay. My bad.
I don't have as many people yet teasing me back, but I'm absolutely still just the same.
On The Boys, I was, like I said, I was obviously a guest in somebody else's house, so I had to kind of sit idly by and not not speak up with sarcasm or jokes as much as I probably normally would until I literally got in with specifically Carl, who I immediately found a partner in crime with, and then certainly after a couple of episodes, he and I were doing the non-speaking communication, which is when somebody says something that could be taken another way, he and I would just literally slowly do this. And then that would snowball into us messing with somebody who, but you have to be careful because there's a lot of different personalities on that set. Some people can joke and some people don't are maybe a little sensitive about stuff like that. So I was happy to have a confidant in Carl. We got on pretty good.
Yeah, but we're still the same.
Yeah.
Just different names.
Given the opportunity, we will certainly be heathens.
Oh yeah. And we're gonna be clear. We're going to be heathens for the rest of the day. We love you guys.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Let's hear it for everybody. Come on. Thank you, Jensen and Jared.